and I'm just so excited for you guys. 30 years doesn't wear away the enthusiasm, especially at the beginning of the school year. There's so many things that you guys are going to encounter and love, and about your job and your career. And Stafford Education Association is the SEA. We're a local affiliate of the VEA. The VEA is the Virginia Education Association, and that affiliate is part of the NEA, the National Education Association. Now, I already got a predicament this morning because I wrote a speech yesterday, and I put it on a kitchen counter, and my wife came up to me today and said, this morning, I wasn't going to read it, and she said, you got to read that speech. And I said to myself, oh my goodness, I know there's not going to be a stand, and I wasn't prepared to read it, but how many of you think I should read it because my wife said to do so? Seriously, raise your hand if you think I should read it. All right, Dr. Benson, you have to hold it for me because we don't have a stand, okay? Okay, so I've got most of it memorized, sort of, okay? I'll read some of it, and some of it I won't read. Okay, so I've been in the county for 30 years. When I first came, I had to live. I got some help from friends at Drew Middle School. I was at Drew Middle School for 16 years, and then Gale for the last 14 and 15 years. And so it goes by very quickly. But I had help getting started here, and we know you guys need help too. And it's your local workers, your peers, that are going to give you all types of help getting settled in the area. It's tough to start. A lot of you don't have much because you just got out of college and so on. So we want to be here for you, SEA. All right, don't move. Okay, let's see. Okay, now the SEA is based on the ideals that public schools are vital and important to the success of our community, our state, and our nation. Our work as educators is for children and for the future. I am mostly involved because of my two children who attended here in Stafford County Schools. One is now in college, and one is a senior at Brook Point High School. We are so grateful, my wife and family, for their education here in the county. They provided so much from Garrisonville Elementary, through Gale Middle School, through Brook Point. The amount of resources we have and the type of teachers that we have in this county are just amazing. And we'll never be able to thank Stafford enough. We have a history here in Stafford of having great public schools. We need you to be part of that history. We need to ensure a great education to every child that comes into our building, every single one. As a public school educator, you must commit to all and not just a few. It is hard work. You will have days, weeks, and months, and even years where you will feel beat down and defeated. But you'll get over it, and there'll be a new year. The great thing about every year is it's a new start. The SAA is behind you in times of good and bad. We know how difficult this profession is. We really do. There is not a harder job in the world to teach if you feel very compassionate and are driven for success. Nothing's harder than teaching. Your failures are your successes, and your successes are your failures. There is not a single timetable for our success or that of our students. We take care of children to teach and to educate. We know this, but not all the public understands what we do and not always supports us in times of our efforts. This is where SEA, VA, and NEA come in. We want equal opportunity for all. We think education is the key to our economy and our future. We believe that all American kids deserve a right to this and to a great future. So that's why we work so hard. We're about education and teaching and our future. How many of you heard the story this summer about a family who got stranded off the beach in a Riptide in Florida, Panama City? How many of you saw that? So I was thinking about that this whole summer and how you can feel stranded. So There was a family vacation in Florida who got caught up in a riptide. There were two boys who got caught in it. Then the mom came out, and then the father, the grandmother, and a few cousins. So there was a set of about 8 family members that were caught in a riptide. And then on the beach, they noticed the distress calls. And there were just a few people that started to notice it, but then they started to get a whole group of people on the beach that don't know each other, and they made a human chain out to the family. They connected arms and hands, and they saved that family from the riptide. And that's how I feel about SCA, VA, and NEA. It's that human chain as a member of our group that we get and help drive education in this society, and specifically here in Stafford County. We work together with Dr. Benson, Holly Hazard and the school board, the board of supervisors, and most importantly you, because you're going to be caught in a riptide this year at some time. I'm going to be caught in a riptide sometimes. We work in a human business, and not everything is going to work perfectly, and there's going to be times when you may be caught in that tide, and you may need some help, some direction, and that's where joining the SCA will be a big part of what we should do. Now, okay? In many ways, you will find yourself in a riptide. You will find yourself in very difficult situations, and sometimes you will need a human chain of help, much like that of the Florida family. Joining a professional group like the SA is like having that. We have almost 50,000 members in the Virginia Education Association. We have over 1,000 members here in Stafford. That chain, okay, is, you don't know everybody, and I don't know everybody in that chain, but that chain is very important to protecting public schools, that everyone gets an education, not just the well-to-do, but also special needs, focus groups, gifted children, and the average children. Almost done. I have a lot to say, but I've already probably used too much time, and my time's limited. We hope you the best, but we also worry about your success and your future. Our children deserve the best teachers and the best education Stafford can afford. If you are going to completely invest your career, you need to join a professional organization that advocates for you locally, on a state level, and on a national level. Now, because of who you are and what you're going to do, and because we know you're going to break your backs for our students this year, Stafford at SEA, our organization's come up with some pretty cool prizes to give out. They're from local businesses. Some of them, most of them are the local businesses, and we're going to give out some really cool prizes all the next 3 days. You notice in your packet, probably done. You can sit down. Well, I did today too, I guess, with some help. You'll notice we got the first gift we got from a local group was the YMCA. The Rappahannock YMCA is a great organization. You all have now a 2-month free membership from them. There's 4 different locations. There's one in Stafford, one in King George, one in Caroline, one in Spotsylvania. We know that wellness is so important. When you're working those hard, long days, you need to give time to yourself. Take the time to walk away from your classroom and your school. You have to do it if you're going to survive, and if we're going to be good teachers, you have to do it. There's some restaurants, local restaurants, you have to go and treat yourself sometimes, and pat yourself on the back. And there's some yoga studios, and like we have the YMCA already who's given. Now we got some prizes too that we'll give out as during lunch. So pay attention during lunch, because we're going to draw some names and we're going to give out prizes. Okay? So please, we'll try to make it so that when everybody's in here, or in the cafeteria, we'll be able to give all these prizes out. But your local parents and your local businesses and your community leaders, almost all of them support us. But we need that human chain. We need more members and more of a voice. And as a professional, we want you to learn that part of the profession too. It's not just your classroom. It's outside your classroom. It's the politics. It's the decision makers, and we are the experts. You are the expert, and we need our voices to be heard. But one person couldn't save, or even two, that family on the beach in the Riptide. It took a chain of people, and that's what we're talking about, why you should join a professional organization, not an insurance policy, okay, that doesn't really advocate and have resources and lobby at the state and local levels and the national levels. It just doesn't, it's not going to work very well by yourself. So, that's about it. I probably missed a few things. If you join the SEA this week, we're going to give you $20 back automatically. And we're really excited about you guys joining us here in Stafford. Thank you very, very, very much.